Welcome to my new vlog, Road to Japan. My name is Sasha, I'm 34 years old, and since I was a kid, I always wanted to visit Japan. There's only one small issue. I'm not talking about visiting Japan for 1 week or 2 weeks because I don't think 2 weeks can do it justice. So my plan is to attend the Japanese language school for at least a year or even 2. And I also need to take my wife with me. Now, between me and such a journey, there are 3 main pillars or issues that I'm going to face. And today we're going to cover those 3 issues, and we're also going to talk a bit on how I'm going to resolve them. Before we start with the issues, I wanted to also tell you that this first episode starts 1,800 days from the trip. So basically, I'm giving myself 5 years to solve the 3 main issues I have with visiting the language school in Japan for 1 or 2 years. And each day we're gonna count downwards until we actually reach our goal. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm going to take exactly 5 years to complete everything and be ready to go to Japan, but that's a reasonable span I gave myself, a long-term goal, and hopefully we can achieve it much sooner, or maybe if things go wrong, we're actually not going to achieve it in time. So you will need to follow and stick to this channel to see how it goes. Now, I know that that's a big commitment for me and also for you, the viewer, but I do believe that long-term goals are a good thing to have, because then you're fighting for something, you're fighting towards a goal down in the future. So that's why I chose my trip to Japan as one. Let's get to the first issue that we will need to tackle. Health. Yes, you heard it correctly, it's health. Right now, at 34 years old, I do have a couple of autoimmune diseases, and my current weight is sitting at around 104 kg, which means that not only I have the autoimmunes to bug me, but also I have high cholesterol and triglycerides, I think they're called. So basically, apart from my 28th day treatment, so I have to go every 28 days to take biologic treatment, I also have to consume quite a lot of different pills for my liver and then for cholesterol and triglycerides. So the first goal, and the one that I think it's easily solvable, it will require a lot of work from my side, but I mean, the solution is quite simple. Obviously, if you're aware what autoimmune is, they're not curable, so I'm not going to be able to cure them. I will have to continue taking my medication or going to the hospital every 28 days to take the injection. And as we close to our deadline, there's going to be a big problem around that and how I'm going to solve it, but that's far in the future. The more immediate things that we can do to fix my health status is lose weight, and lose quite a bit of it. My target goal is 88 kilograms. I was there before. I was 18 years old last time when I weighed 78 kilograms. And then through 4 or 5 years, I gained a lot of weight. And since then, I'm sitting 100. I was actually up to 115. So you're not finding me at the worst moment. But again, it's going to be a big challenge to go down from 104 all the way to 88 kilograms. The solution is simple. The actual execution is going to be a huge issue. The second major problem I would like to solve before I make my trip to Japan is Japanese. It's actually the language. So you will ask, but you're going to go into a language school to study. Yes, you're correct. But honestly, I don't want to go and start from zero, not be able to communicate at all, and really have a tough time and spend a lot of extra time apart from the school to actually learn Japanese. So my goal is and I started yesterday. My goal is to study. Right now I'm on Duolingo. It's not sponsored, but that's the one I picked. And I actually started learning Japanese. My goal is in the next 1 to 2 years to learn enough Japanese so I'm comfortable going into the language school without having to really study hard to progress. So that's the second major goal that we want to achieve, and you'll get daily updates, weekly updates of how it's going. Am I slacking off, or I'm being consistent every single day? And maybe in a couple of months, we get a Japanese episode, or at least a small portion of this video, which is gonna be in Japanese, so that you actually can see my progress there. So again, it's a big problem, but the solution is quite apparent, and I can't say that for the third major thing I need to solve. There, I have no idea how to solve it, so that one will require quite a bit of work from my side. I don't know if you can already guess what the third major issue of me going to Japan to study in a language school for 1 to 2 years together with my wife is gonna be. But if you haven't guessed, it's F capital financial situation. So at 34 years old, I'm currently working as a software developer. So I do have quite a hefty monthly income for Serbia here. But with the introduction of AI, that income, honestly, I'm not sure how long it's going to continue. I'm not sure how long it's gonna sustain my family, and the worst part is, even if it continues, it's not enough. It's enough for us to live here in Serbia, but it's not enough to actually save up for such a big journey and a 2-year language school where potentially I'm not going to work full-time as a software engineer. So that's gonna be a major issue. For 10 years almost, as I've been working, 8 of those I've been trying to create a paying product. I've been trying to create a SaaS, I've been trying to create applications, I've tried everything. But unfortunately, I create the application, I create the SaaS, and then I don't have any money on marketing. So hopefully this time around, I'll have some experience at least. But unfortunately, again, with the introduction of AI, it has become impossible to come up with a good idea. So the development part is much easier now because AI can help me develop really fast. But the actual part where you find a niche, an idea, which is not everywhere and not 100 other companies are doing, or 100 other software engineers, is really hard. So that's where we'll need to focus. I still have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna build, what I'm gonna try to sell, and if I'm going to be able to financially make it. But again, we have 5 years, so let's set a reasonable goal for those 5 years. I would like to create something that will have 5,000 euros monthly recurring revenue, which is a big deal, believe me. Right now I'm at 0, so I've never created something that passively or semi-passively generates monthly income. So this is gonna be really tough, finding the correct type of business, building it, and then getting to that huge amount of monthly recurring revenue. Obviously, I'm also filming for YouTube. I'll be filming daily vlogs, maybe not every day, but they're gonna be quite a few during the week with small updates, and usually each of them is gonna focus on one of the 3 main pillars I need to take me to Japan. And then I'll see, maybe weekly or bi-weekly updates where I talk about all of the 3 and we actually see exactly where we stand. So that's all I had for today. A lot of talking, but if you're interested to see if somebody, a software engineer from Serbia, can actually make it to Japan and study there for 2 years with his wife, and that's gonna be cool. And honestly, I'm hoping it's gonna be before the 5 years mark, but I gave myself plenty of room. So I don't want to rush it. I want to do it properly. See you in the next one.